Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Real Legend of Gaming. So we are here with Lineage Revolution 2, and folks, we're going to do a review and first impressions and explain the features of the game. So let's check it out, folks. Alright, so after you watch the intro, you go right into some action. And folks, this game has a lot of cutscenes that keep you very entertained and gives you a decent storyline to follow along. Now, as far as the gameplay, it's very similar to Diablo 3 and Marvel Heroes Omega, so you'll definitely have that MMO experience on your mobile device. And I think that's the most interesting piece to this. Now, you start off right away. Obviously, the game goes through a tutorial, and it gives you a pretty quick rundown of what you need to do. And what I also did like is that you unlock your special abilities right from the get, so you can see what type of movements and what type of attacks your character can have. Now, there's 4 different classes that you can choose from, and there's also you can say like 4 different archetypes that you can decide from. So you have your knight, which I think they call human. You have your dark elf, you have your elf, and then you also have your dwarf. Then within those choices, you have classes where you'll get to decide what type of attacks that you like to do, what type of weapons, and we'll explain that very shortly. But from here on, you get to see pretty much who your enemies are going to be, and you get a good idea of how the game is going to flow. So what I'll do is I'll let you guys watch this here, so you can see the cutscene and also see some of the gameplay, and then we'll come back in and explain the different classes and the different attack types that you can choose.
Use your skills to defeat the enemy.
Soldiers, come in when I signal! We've surrounded them! Come down to the last man!
I've been waiting.
Kingpin! The age of oppression is at its end! Along with your vile clan!
How amusing. Many fools have stood where you stand now and spoken those same words. They all ended up on their knees, begging for their lives. You'll do the same!
Wrong! It's your turn to kneel! Everyone, attack!
Alright, so that was a good little glimpse of the gameplay. As you see, the game has some incredible background music. As far as the character voiceovers, they're a little off, but you got to consider it's a mobile game. It's free, and that's not something that necessarily bothers me that much. But I had to point it out, obviously. But as I was stating earlier, you get to choose your different types of characters, and they give you a nice little animation intro of each one that you decide to use. So as I stated earlier, you got the human, the elf, the dark elf, and the dwarf. On the bottom left-hand side, you can see the character stats. Certain characters tend to lean towards a specific category more than others. If you play these type of games, then you definitely understand that. Now, what's cool about the human is that they're balanced, right? They have well-balanced stats, and they can adapt quickly to any class. And the dwarves, they're very handy and physically powerful, so they have very high attacks. However, they lack in some other areas. Now, if you go into the human, you get to choose either your base class, which, once you level up, you'll be able to be a paladin or a warlord or a treasure hunter or a hawkeye or a sorcerer or a bishop. And that all depends on whether you're going to be a warrior, a rogue, or a mystic. So those are your 3 starting bases. So your base class will be a warrior, and if you decide to be a warrior, then you will be the 2 corresponding classes that are right next to it. And you see that each hero type has that option of warrior, rogue, and mystic. The warrior will be more of your traditional shield and sword, or shield and axe, while your rogue will be the dagger and your bows, while your mystic will kind of be like your mage, so they will have distance attacks with a combination of magic spells. So if you're like into mages and stuff like that, then you really appreciate that. If you're looking more for an archer, then the rogue class will be good for you. If you're looking for someone that uses blades or daggers, this is a class for you as well. Now, each class has their special attacks as well. So you have your power shots, your double shots, your mortal blows, and your power thrusts. And that all is dependent on what base class you choose. So you see there's a lot of options. And the fact that you get to unlock different classes at level 31, it gives you a replay factor. Now, mobile games, I think, are the easiest to progress in because if you think about it, the portability aspect gives you a great advantage. And also, you tend to play your mobile games more because that device is with you most of the time. And again, like I said earlier, the portability is a big thing. So, you have these options. I believe I went with a human. I like characters that are well balanced. And the fact that they can adapt quickly to any class, that was just enough for me to choose. Now, as soon as you select your character, you get to choose your class selection. And you also get an option of 3 different hairstyles. So you got your man bun, you got your low cut Caesar, and then you have your other hairdo. I went with the low cut Caesar. It gives it kind of a mean looking approach. Then you get your preview motion, which is kind of like your character animation. If someone was looking at your character, if they were checking out your profile, then you also get to name it as well. So if you guys want to send me a friend request in the game, send it to DaRealLegend. I'll take them accept right away. Now, as you progress later in the game, if you do max out one character, you have an option of having 4. So essentially, you can be each class if you wanted to experiment. Or, if you're playing with a group of friends and you need someone to be a human or need someone to be a dark elf, you have that option of switching around. So I thought that was really cool. You start off with your level 1, so there is a level progression system as well. And we'll leave you with this cutscene here. It's very short, but it's basically taking you to your main town.
Welcome.
Alright, so now you arrive to the first hub in the game. And again, I said this is similar to an MMO. You're going to meet a lot of different players that are, on this server. And you guys can all pair up to do these quests. Now, when selecting a quest, it is automated. So your character is going to automatically go to the destination where you need to accept the quest. And they will even complete the quest automatically itself. Now, if you don't want to do an auto quest, then simply tap on the destination box, which is usually in gold, that will say, go find this person. You tap on that and then you can control it yourself. I did not discover that till later on towards the end of recording, but now that I'm able to speak to you guys, I can tell you that right away. So it saves you a lot of time. If you're someone who likes to control the character and feel like you're actually playing the game, then do that right away. Now, a lot of the quests are pretty easy, so you're going to find that you're completing quests very fast. A certain amount of quests allow you to finish the episode. Right now, we're on 1-1, and we played long enough to get through, I think, 1-2, but for this video, we stopped at the end of episode 1-1. Now, if you look also in your mailbox, there are some items that you're going to receive. Some are a welcome gift, and then you have your pre-registration rewards. So remember, when you pre-registered to sign in with the same character name that you had in order to get your rewards. Now, you have the option of opening them up right now in order to get some items that are A-ranked. Then you have some consumables that you can use to get a special accessory. We're able to get an Aegis Mercenary ring right there, so we will be able to equip that. Another option with the equipping the items, if you look at the far bottom right corner, once you progress past the screen here, you'll see a green box that says auto equip. You can select that and it'll put on your best armor. And for the pre-registration rewards, these are some of the items that we're able to unlock. So as you see there, you get an exclusive equipment selection box, a crystal selection box as well. And back to where I was stating earlier, you saw the green box that says auto equip. Now some of these items I did not open. I kind of want to see if I wait a little bit longer, if I'm able to, I guess, maybe get an item that is more equipped for my current level. I just want to test out that theory and see if it's correct. Now you see you have your items as well, you have your challenges, then you have your titles that you can unlock from completing in-game events. So this title here you get for just starting the adventure. So once you click the green box and acquire it, then you'll have that equipped, and it also boosts up your base power. So the idea is to have a higher base power so that eventually you can be able to take on tougher missions and fight bigger bosses, obviously. Then you have your mentor section, where here you'll have different quests that you can complete in order to unlock special items. So if you don't want to be a pay-to-play player, you know, there is a way to unlock special items in the game. Now there's also something called friendship points, where you get a certain amount, you're able to get a friendship box every day. Now, in order to request friends, you have that option in the menu as well. You have a recommended list that you can choose friends from, or if you know your friend's username, you can just type it in and send them a request. You also have journeys, which again, those are in-game accomplishments that you can complete and go on missions and unlock some items. You have your daily login, which gives you some rewards, your weekly login for new players, and your monthly login as well. So again, it gives you a reason to return to this game every day. And I think that's the most important thing, right? You need an incentive to come back every day. These logins are just enough to do that. Now, if you also noticed, on that menu screen, there was a ranking. So eventually you'll be able to see what your ranking is versus other players, and I'm sure there will be some events that will tie into that will reward some items as well. But folks, as you can tell, there's a lot to do in this game, and if you're someone who does not have a console, then this is the closest experience you'll get to a console Diablo 3 type game. I really like the game. I think it has a lot of replay value. I've said that on multiple occasions regarding different subjects in this game. I think the fact that you can customize 4 different characters, choose different classes, different loadouts, it gives you a lot of reason to want to play this game over and over. And once the game progresses, I'm sure this development team will launch things like tournaments or group events or raids and other good stuff that are very, very play a huge part inside of MMO games. So that's pretty much it, folks. So I'm going to leave you with more gameplay, and this video will wrap up. I hope you enjoyed the content. Slap a like button. Again, this is part of the Thursday mobile game review series, and you guys have shown me some amazing support on the last video, so I know this one you will enjoy as well. All right, so peace out.